Hey, what's going on, guys? KQkq here. When you're writing a chess engine, it's incredibly important to write a bug-free move generator. And the way to figure out whether your move generator is bug-free or not is to go for what is called perf testing. Perf stands for performance test. So the idea is that there are predefined tables. In case of the International Western Chess, it's the matter of tables when you have the number of nodes that should be traversed on the current given depth. Also might be some additional information like checks and captures, but that's not essential really. So the most essential is the number of traversed nodes. So literally, what do we do in perf testing? We just generating moves for site to move, then making move, then generating moves for other side to move, etc. So for those of you who's aware of what the perf testing is, this should be really trivial. For those who's not aware of what is that, you can have a look at my videos on perf testing, which I did for International Western Chess and for variants as well. So now currently I'm working on creating a new chess engine that would be playing Korean chess janggi. And when it comes to implementing the International Western Chess Engine or Chinese chess engine, which plays Chinese chess, also known as CNC, it's still possible. Well, for International Western Chess, obviously there are lots of just give you an example, positions with existing perft sort of a things. So just to give you an idea, so perft results here in chess program in Wikipedia, we have this. Yeah, so perf results. So it's quite pretty trivial to find this for International Western Chess. So we see how many nodes should be traversed for this position, for all the other positions. So you have the FEN string, and then you have this data. But what if you don't have this data? That's the question. So now let's say we go for Chinese chess perf. It wasn't available until not a very long time ago, after we have added some positions here. So I've contributed one as well. So here we do have a perf test results for Chinese chess, but say for janggi, for Korean chess, we don't yet have anything literally. So the idea is to take an engine that already implements that and kind of trust that engine and actually make use of those perf results to provide some sort of unknown tables. Not with the checks and captures, only with the nodes count, but that's that's more than enough basically. So the way, I'm sorry for a bit too long intro, but just really wanted to give you an idea what's the objective of this tutorial basically. So we need to have the perf test running, and also we want to have it with time spent for traversing all the nodes within the current given position. So I will start the demonstration with the normal Stockfish that doesn't support variants like CNC or janggi, just to give you an idea, because this is all where it came from basically. And then I will show you how to do the same thing for variants. So I would be using Fairy Stockfish by Fabian Fichter to give you an idea how we can go for perf test results for chess variant for janggi in particular. But this is applicable to whatever variant you want to have a look at. That's really it. So whatever chess variant you're going to implement, you can reference Fairy Stockfish's perf results in order to calibrate your own mode generator using those results. So without further ado, let's actually start. So first, here you see I've compiled the latest Stockfish, the latest build basically. And I just run the normal Stockfish here, not the Fairy one, so just the normal Stockfish. And if we just press D, we have this board representation. So we see this is the initial position, we have the FEN string and things here. So the most trivial way of doing things is just to say go perf, let's say 4, and it goes and outputs the number of nodes. So just go back just to give you an idea where this comes from. Okay, I'm sorry. So you started in position depth 4, we have this number of nodes. This is what we have. Okay, so whatever, let's say we say like go perft, I don't know, 5, it's already this number, and this is the number, right? So but here the problem is that it doesn't print how much time did it spend on doing this, but we'll come to this a little bit later on. So let's say we want to make perft for some specific position, right? So in this case we can just go for, just grab the position. Yeah, it's probably like this. Well, it doesn't have the doesn't have the 50 rule move counter and the number of full moves. I'm really wondering if this is going to work. So as far as Stockfish works in the UCI mode, we can use the UCI command position FEN and paste this in and have a look at the board. Yeah, we do have this. Okay, so here is the position. Here it is, and let's say we want to get the depth, like perft of depth 4. So we can simply say like go perft and 4, and we get this sort of a number here. Okay, but what if we want to have also to have the time that is spent for this perft? Because, well, for this, like depth 5, depth 4, it's trivial, but let's say we want to say like go perft, I don't know, like 6 maybe, right? Now it really takes time. So say like it's searching, right? I mean, like it's traversing the nodes, but this is really kind of long, and it's really interesting to know how much time did it take eventually. So I just stopped it in order to just not to wait for that anymore. So another way of doing things, we can use the bench command. So let's say for starting position, we can so just to give you an idea. So not really much of documentation in the regular sense of this word at the very least, but in Stockfish's source code here in benchmark CPP we have quite a pretty nice explanation. So here is the format for a bench command. So 5 parameters. So transposition table size, which can be just set to 1 in case of perft, because it doesn't matter that much really. Number of threads also can be set to 1. Well, you can play around with these values, but I personally set of these values to 1 always. The limit value to spend. So in case of perft, that's the limit is the depth. And the file name where to look the positions in the FEN format. Well, this is interesting, but before actually looking into the file, we can use 2 essential commands like default and current. So default would also be going for perf testing for initial position, and current would be going respectively for current position. So just to give you an idea, so if I say like bench, and let's say 1 megabyte transposition table, 1 thread, I want to go to depth 5, I want to go for default position, so by default this would be the starting position, and I want to use the perft mode. So now it goes for perft. Hold on a sec, I'm just a little bit confused. Oh, that's because probably just searches for all of this. I'm sorry guys, yeah, probably just searches just for all of this file. So I should use current instead. I'm sorry. So let's start again. So let's say bench and 1 megabyte transposition table, 1 thread, depth 5. Let's go for current and perft. Yeah, now this is it. Now we do traverse all of the nodes for this current given position, but we also have a time span in milliseconds, which is really the measure of the performance itself, basically. And let's say we just go for position start pos, position fen, and now bring another fen in, have a look that the board has been updated, and now we can say bench, and again 1 megabyte transposition table, 1 thread, let's say depth 5. I want the current position, and I want perft, yeah. And here we go. So it takes a little bit longer, but anyway, we still have the time in milliseconds and all this stuff. And one last thing that is also on the cards is to read this either a single fen or the list of fens from the file. So just to demonstrate you that quickly. So well, let's say I'll just create a file in the directory where the stockfish is. So just say empty document, let's say how to call this, tests.txt. Okay, and I just bring the position in here. Okay, so now we have this test.txt. So the fen format assumes that well, let's go for if you specify the only fen, it would just search for the only fen. But if you specify, let's say, more than one fen, so well, let's say just bring the start position as well. So just copy this one and bring it in. Okay, and now I can say bench 1 megabyte, for transposition table, 1 thread, let's say go depth 5, and the file name, so tests.txt, and I want to go for perft. And now it opens this two files, this one, and searches exactly two positions, so the first one and the second one. So let's say if there would be the only position, it would be searching the only position respectively. So let's do it again. So bench, okay, just sorry. So we say bench and 115 tests.txt and perft. Okay, so here is what we got. But we don't obviously, it's not obvious to go for this sort of a mode like UCI mode. We can do this from the command line directly. So that's another fantastic feature. So we can simply say like stockfish and bench and all the parameters. So 1 megabyte transposition table, 1 thread, let's say depth 5, the file name tests.txt. Well, in this case we were limited to files, I guess. Well, probably default is also on the cards, but I'm not sure about regarding the current. It's a bit of, no, I don't know, maybe we still can specify the fen in the command line, but it doesn't seem to be documented anywhere, so I didn't test that, so it's hard to say. But anyway, we can just use a single line within the text file, which is literally enough for testing. And I want to go for perft. And you see, like, it starts the stockfish and actually goes directly for this bench, outputs the time in milliseconds, and escapes. And let's say if we have some additional FENs. In this case, it will go through all the FENs exists there. So now we go through both FENs, and the time. Well, in this case, the time spent for all of the for the entire bench, not only for the single FEN, but for entire bench. So this is it regarding the normal stockfish. And now let's go to the most interesting part, the fairy stockfish. So okay, and I don't know, probably, well, just to give you an idea, because, well, we don't have any information for janggi, but for CNC I can actually show something. Yeah, let's go for Chinese chess perft. just to grab the FE, just to have a look at the FENs. Okay, so now the same thing with the Fairy Stockfish. So we don't need this anymore, and in Fairy Stockfish we also need to specify the variant. That's a little bit of a difference compared to the normal stockfish. So let me just open terminal. So here I have a Fairy Stockfish, the latest build as well. So just say Fairy Stockfish. Now bear in mind the fact that we do deal with the variants in both in UCI mode and in command line mode. It's a little bit different, and it wasn't really that trivial for me to figure out how this works, so that's the reason for sharing this sort of an information. So by default Fairy Stockfish runs in the International Western Chess mode, but if we just have a look at the UCI options, we have this UCI variant option, which can be used in order to deal with the variants. So let's say I want to set a variant specific to Chinese chess CNC, so I can simply say like setoption and name. That's the format for UCI options. Now the option name is the UCI variant, and value equals to CNC, like this. And still the position didn't change, so I need to say position start pause, or specify the particular FEN, doesn't matter, and print D again, and now we have the position that is specific to Chinese chess. Here is the position, here it is. Okay, and now we can do the same. We can say like go perft like 3. Okay, we can also say bench 1 1 3 current and perft, and we have absolutely the same results here. So the same stuff is available for different variants. So let's say I want to say setoption name and UCI variant, and let's say janggi, value janggi. Okay, if we print the board, we still have the CNC board, so it didn't change. So we need to say again like position start pause to initialize the initial position for janggi. Here it is. Or alternatively, we can use position FEN, which is another to specify the specific FEN, which is another. So just like we did in International Western Chess, another way of initializing the position in the UCI mode. And again, we can do the same. So we can say like bench 1 1, let's say 3 current and perft, and here we go. Okay, but the very last thing to demonstrate, so how I actually using this. So here I've created this bench for janggi position. So this is the initial position, and this is the position with two kings facing each other, because I'm not really that clear yet about the rules, what happens when the kings are facing each other in janggi. It's different from CNC. So now we would be running perf tests for these two positions from the command line directly without entering the UCI mode. So in order to do this, I can simply say like Fairy Stockfish. Then I need to specify hold on a sec, I forgot if this is bench or oh okay guys, I just forgot that. Okay, let's go for this Fairy Stockfish. Fairy Stockfish. Yeah, first bench, then the variant name. Yeah, so janggi and 1 1, let's say depth 3, and the file name is janggi bench. This one, this is the file, janggi bench.txt, and I want to go for perf mode. And here we go. Yeah, this is it. So we just traverse the nodes for the initial position and for this second position. And again, like if I just get rid of somewhat a position like so and run again, it would be searching for the only position. So that's the way how we can run benchmark directly from the command line. So for Fairy Stockfish, we also need to specify the variant. I'm not sure what exactly happens if we don't do that. Didn't actually try that, but actually we have normal Stockfish for that purpose. No need to use Fairy Stockfish for this. So this is it, guys. So this is how we can get this gold basically from both Stockfish and Fairy Stockfish for the number of nodes to be traversed, because this is something we can rely on if we don't have any explicit information about the variant. And I've seen that on my own eyes, how Fairy Stockfish plays Korean chess janggi. That's really amazing. That's really exciting thing to have a look at. And well, I think this is really something that we actually can't really rely on. At very least, no other sources I'm aware of regarding perf tests for perf results for Korean chess janggi. So this is it from my side, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you loved the video. So let me know in the comments if something is unclear. This is it from my side. Until the next time, and take care.